join us for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Present.
Present.
Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the June 9th, 2026 meeting.
Make that motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion to approve additional minutes June 16th, 2026, June 23rd, 2026, June 30th, 2026, and July 7th.
Those should all be separate.
All separate?
Yes.
Okay.
Separate meetings.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to approve minutes from the June 16th, 2026 meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Chuck,
Yeah, I know, just looking, I'll second that motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the June 23, 2026 meeting.
Chair will make that motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the June 30th, 2026 meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the July 7, 2026 meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't at that meeting, am I still allowed to?
You are still allowed to make the motion, second it, and approve it.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Summary of the work session, please.
Today during the work session, we had visitors from the Stormwater Department, the Commissioner's Office, and Sanitary Office, including Tim Miller, Steve, Randy Roethlisberger, Jason Boyd, and Commissioner Beveridge. We discussed the stormwater study that was requested through the Stormwater Department and the options that they're working towards improving the Lake Erie area for drainage and future storm and rainfalls. We also briefly discussed options for funding and or a loan program for the flooding and plumbing issues in that area. And Commissioner Beveridge discussed the possibility of being able to fund through a CIC, but more discussion was needed. Our law director updated us on the CV1 update and the command mobile vehicle and the regulations related to that. He also provided an update on the aggressive soliciting and or panhandling rules and regulations and what we could be able to do in the future. We discussed the iSTEM school relocating from Painesville Township to Concord, the upcoming 25th anniversary for Morris Chiropractic. We have a trunk or treat scheduled. Our first one for Painesville Township will be held at Haddon Park October 22nd. Movie night is coming up this month in a week and a half, on July 25th. We're going to start that at 8 o'clock with the movie beginning at dusk. And Fun Day is planned for August 25th, coming up next month. Fire Chief updated us up on Station 1's open house, which is scheduled for Saturday, August 8th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our Service Director discussed purchasing a bucket truck available at a discount with zero interest financing, as well as the ongoing Omni Fiber permit issuances and issues we've had with them. And our Zoning Director discussed the Aquawave Auto Wash, along with the current conditions at 893 Beach with the fire and zoning hazards. And that remediation will begin tomorrow. And then we discussed the brush drop area and the additional dates that will be added.
And the additional traffic controls for Stratford and Barrington.
And additional traffic controls being looked at for the intersection of Stratford and Barrington.
Okay.
Beach.
Thank you. Any old business from the floor? This is the public portion. If there's any old business to discuss, hearing none. Any new business? Oh,
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask about the yard waste drop-off.
yeah. If you like, approach the lectern and state your name and address for the record, please. No, you're fine. You didn't know.
Morning.
Morning.
Greg Reynolds, 1720 Sheffield Terrace. I was just wanted to know about the post road drop-off. I know in previous years it's been November. It's unattended to save costs, but it would be open the entire month due to the volume of yard waste in November. Now I see this year it's just like 3 scheduled days in November.
That was what we just discussed at the end. I don't know if you were, I think you were here, but we just discussed we're going to expand that because we had based, the idea is that we would be phasing it out as
Curbside.
because curbside is available, and we are working on an alternative for 2027 and forward. So this was a decision based on a certain criteria that counts that we had. This year we have found that those counts were a little low in the estimate, and we have actual hard numbers. So based on that, we are expanding the days that it's going to be open. So for the next couple months, it will be back to being open one day a week, either a Wednesday or Saturday. We're going to publicize those dates as soon as we clear them all, make sure they don't interact with any holidays or any conflicts. And then when we get to November, we'll be open additional days, but I don't believe we're going to do unattended, because what happens with the unattended is that the unattended turns into a free-for-all. And then not only are we cleaning up yard waste, we're cleaning up trash and other things. So now it's further compounding the resources and expenditures in the service department. So we're working through that to expand the days that it'll be open, attended by an employee of the township, to ensure that only yard waste by paint, we get commercial people are dropping it off. So outside the area are coming in. So we're going to put a little bit tighter controls on it, but we are going to expand it more to, I think, what you were asking, to allow for more dates to be used in the coming months. And those will be probably within a week. We'll have all the updated days and numbers. We'll put that on our website and our Facebook page.
Okay, I was just asking because I just wanted to see if it's just partially being cut back because major, you can sign up with them now for yard waste.
Yeah, the whole idea was when we went
So
to
it's balancing.
the whole idea is, all in all, it's about, with cost of getting rid of the stuff that comes in and the manpower, around $50,000 a year was what we'll be essentially putting back into the township service department's budget for roads and other things. And then because of the availability of the curbside, but in conjunction with that, we don't want to get into details yet, but we are trying to work on an alternative for next year that probably should come to fruition, that will also give residents a drop-off location as well. And we'll know that, in the coming months here, right? Probably that worked out. We hope by the first of the year, so before springtime hits, we'll have information on the new drop-off site as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, yeah, appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Same,
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Charlotte Mills, 1264 Stonewood Court, Painesville Township, Boulder Ridge Development. And I'm here about fireworks.
Okay.
If I may, I brought the sample that I've taken off of my house, my yard. I questioned the legality of what's used. I don't want to mess up your floor, but I really think a visual. This was one night. This was picked up piece by piece. This, I question, you wanna pass this around and look at it? I question the legality of that.
Seen this before.
And all this was from two people setting off fireworks. And involved in all of this was not only all of that, I also found a piece of metal and plastic.
You're on Stonewood, you said?
Stonewood Court. My frontage is 40 feet. My back is 159. It's coming from 1305 Falling Rock and from right next door to me. We have spoke to the people next to us to please aim them somewhere else. They did, they tried, but you have no control once this stuff goes off as to where it's gonna land. We just came through a dry period. Thank God it rained a day or so before. This happened Sunday night, the day after 4th of July. And I had the sheriff's department, James Fogarty, come and made my complaint to him. I have a complaint number. I called the township and they sent John out. Apparently, I'm told my choices are to move or let my house burn down because it's legal to set them off. I question the technicality, whether it's allowed in a housing development. We have 44 houses in Boulder Ridge. They're very close. I lost my cool and my language wasn't very, very pretty. But once I yelled at about 10:15 that you're hitting my house, blank house, my next door neighbor closed up and went inside. The one behind me, who was on Falling Rock, he's next to Jimmy Manello at 12, or excuse me, he's right next door. That house has been empty for 7 years. Jim's in a assisted living. So my question, it's coming over not only Jim's yard, it's also coming over Doug Rain's empty lot full of trees and shrubs. That's all it is. And this is what I got out of my yard. Even on my front step, because my back of the house faces where it was let off. And I had these cement things coming down hot. I was backed up against my kitchen door. I can't sit on my patio. So my question is, what can I do? I've been asked by other neighbors who were not here today, but what can we do? Can we get a petition and ban it from our development because our houses are so close? The other question I have is, Gabe Cicconetti has my house insurance, and I've not been able to get a straight answer. Does my house insurance cover my house burning down when someone sets off legal fireworks, which I question the legality?
Everything will go through claims, and I'm not going to get into the business here because we're
okay.
in public, but I can tell you that in the insurance, house fires are covered unless you're doing it intentionally, and that's a felonious act.
Well,
so that
he is, but I'm not.
well, right. So generally a house fire by sudden and accidental accident in Ohio would be a covered peril on an insurance policy. Again, claims would make that determination in any company, but that as long as you're not setting your house on fire, you would be, generally speaking, again, claims would have to make that determination 100%, but you should be covered if your house catches on fire by an accidental fire, which even if it's a firework, they didn't, unless they're pointing it at your house, shooting your window, then that's again an illegal action. So that would be a determination claims would have to go over them after them legally, but
I would actually say that this action, if somebody lights off a firework and it accidentally causes fire to your property, then you would actually be entitled to go after their homeowner's insurance because that would be their negligence. If they don't have homeowner's insurance and you do, then your insurance would be able to pick it up.
Okay.
But you would be able to sue them civilly if they were to cause damage.
Oh, I'm prepared.
and just so and what I want to address real quick as far as when you mentioned legal, just so everything's on the same page here.
Mhm.
The state of Ohio did authorize the use of fireworks certain dates around certain holidays. But there are very stringent rules, law that's associated with that law. And that has to do with proximity based on other structures. So I just want to clear this up real quick. To say, when you say it's legal, fireworks within the law are legal, right? But if you're in a neighborhood and they're not 150 feet from another structure,
And they're not.
then that is, no matter what the law permits, even if it says you can light off fireworks by state law, if they are within that 150-foot span, that does, even if they're legal, they're still they're committing an illegal act because they're not following that law that's in place. So I just want to clear up, when you say fireworks are legal, yes, within the bounds of the law.
That's
so what you're
how I
describing is not within the bounds of the law. So that is illegal, no matter what the fireworks being legal in Ohio, that doesn't fall under the umbrella of them being legally discharged. So that is, whether they're illegal or not, that would be illegal because it doesn't fall within the legal bounds of that legislation, right? So if that's what's happening, even though fireworks are permitted in the state of Ohio and in Painesville Township based on the parameters set within the law, if they're doing it within that 150 feet of a structure, within X amount of feet of electrical lines, all of that falls under illegal action and then would be the determination of the sheriff's office to investigate, prosecute, and handle. So if they are lighting them off in a developed neighborhood where the houses are closer than 150 feet from structures, then they are breaking the law, that it's not legal fireworks. And then that would be something that the sheriff's office, our police force would law enforcement agency would have to enforce, investigate, however it is. I'm not going to speak for them, but I can just tell you the only thing that we've dealt with in the past when it comes to these types of things is that, I guess for lack of better words, it's like chasing a ghost, right? Because they have to catch them in the act of lighting that firework. So while you have this, again, this might be something the sheriff's office might be able to address, but I just know from other, it took, I think the other guy that you ended up prosecuting was, they finally got video of him doing, a month into him doing it, they videoed him lighting the fireworks off, then the prosecutor's office could use that as evidence that he was making that illegal act, right? So what they're doing, even though fireworks are legal within bounds, they are operating or acting outside of that law. So that's something that the sheriff's office would have to investigate and prosecute and do whatever they need to do. So what you're describing based on the law is illegal. So they're not lighting legal. They may be legal fireworks size, but what they're doing with them is illegal. So that's where our law enforcement agency would have to take the reins on that and investigate. So
And that's how I understood it, but getting to them to understand, and then you mix the safety, and I know it's 150 feet. I know how far spectators are supposed to be. I hear little kids over there, so it's actually a safety measure also.
correct.
And we have approached both parties, and they've ignored it. The one did shoot them off on the other side, but they're still coming over. So I do plan on talking to them because they're right next door. I don't want to create any problems. And the gentleman behind us, Zach Bond, we have not been able to talk with him. And my husband did present them the things last year. We took it to their house, and this year it's worse.
And the problem is it's not, you look at it from a micro standpoint, it's your neighborhood, right? But then you expand macro over the whole entire township, then you add in Concord Township, and the sheriff's office could probably speak to this, is that the amount of calls they get this happening,
Yes.
you would need the combined police force of the entire county to handle one community because of the amount of calls that they're getting for stuff like this. So legal or not, they're breaking the law. Now it's just a matter of.
And what Deputy told me is basically his hands are tied because they do have to see them. So what do I have to do to instigate that? Talk to them.
There's
See
your
about
guy.
getting someone. Okay.
And if you can, again, like
Cell phone video.
cell phone video was the last thing that helped.
I have cell phone video of what landed on my property.
Yeah.
I mean, it melted the seal on my patio. The one that really flipped me out was the fact that it was like 1.5 feet from my gas grill.
Right.
And this stuff is coming down, but you can't stand outside. Not to mention what it does to the pets and everything.
Yeah, and again, that if they're operating within the
Okay, so-
law, then you're good. But
So
when
I'm
you're
right in understanding what you're telling me. What I've read about is that they are legal, but with them setting them off in our development is illegal. It's just a matter of catching them.
if they are inside of that, what the law legislation,
not.
then
I can
or
assure
outside
you,
of that
yeah.
rather, outside of that distance, if they are inside that distance and closer than the law states, then yes, they are breaking the law no matter what. No matter if fireworks being legal in the state of Ohio or not, or in Painesville Township or not, if they're not operating outside of that distance requirement,
And this is
they're
electrical wires, street wires, and everything
Yep.
because we do have it along Madison Avenue also.
yeah. So there, I think it's I don't know how many. I don't want
It's
to speak out.
150 feet.
And then it's 300 of electric wires or something, right? Or I forget what the measurement is, but
Yeah.
I don't know it offhand. We'd have to pull
And
it up. But
anyone under 18 can't set them off, and children have to be at least 150 feet away.
right,
And they're
all
not,
spectators.
because our lawns are not 150 feet apart
Correct.
from each
Right.
other.
That as when this came out and we put out a lot of information about it, is that the majority of Painesville Township is not permitted to light off fireworks
Exactly.
based on the proximity, right? So based on proximity in most of our neighborhoods, if you live, and I think the way we kind of word this, if you live in a neighborhood or development, it's probably a very good chance that you are not legally lighting off fireworks if you are doing so because of those.
Is there some way we can put this in on Facebook or in the internet to let people know that if you're in a development as a precaution to my house burning down and me suing this guy,
Yeah.
which I really don't want to go there. I've been in my house for 39 years. I really don't want to lose it.
We have put, I think, was it in the email we do our newsletters via, is electronic now, and I think it was in our newsletter, but we will ensure that we're also putting that information, a reminder out that
Yeah,
these are
throughout the summer because they don't obey
that's the other
the
thing.
weekend before and the weekend after.
That's-
They think it's like 3 weeks.
Right, and that's the other thing. When you talk about legal, yeah, they're legal these dates, these distances, but as you just stated, anytime outside of any of those, it's still illegal. So whether or not they have the legal size firework, if they're not doing it within those specified dates, distances, they're breaking the law. So then that's an issue for the sheriff's office to address.
So keep calling the sheriff's department.
And I did a post on July 1st. I turned off comments because I knew the sort of comments that I would get. So I did not have comments turned on. 9,000 views, but
The majority of people in our development do not want them, but they don't necessarily have the courage to step up and say so. You know, they get their dogs tranquilized and take them places because
yeah, our
we
dogs
are
are,
a big dog center around there.
so,
every 4th of July, our dogs get a little party
Yeah.
of their own, So
so even if like the homeowners association,
And we don't have one anymore.
if you formed one and outlawed them, it'd still be an enforcement issue. I mean,
Exactly. I
so
know, I
that's-
was told, they're banned in Concord, but they still go off.
well, I was just going to say,
So.
you can add. He can tell you that Concord didn't. You could either opt out or just let the state law take effect. We just said, hey, you know what? The legislature is in place. They put this in place. All these parameters based on our community, they're pretty much illegal everywhere, anyways. So we're not going to add another layer. He can tell you. I can imagine, and I know because I know township trustees in Concord, and talking to the sheriff's office over the last couple of years, the calls are no less in Concord, and Concord had opted out of the state law. So they didn't see it when they opted out. They didn't see any reduction in fireworks by opting out. So in most, and they have more expanded areas, and they still,
Exactly.
they still haven't seen. I don't think, based on what the feedback we get from the sheriff's office, they
But
have
it is
a
definitely
pretty close
it's
volume.
a safety hazard, and it's also, for people as well as property.
We agree, and that's why we felt when we decided to leave the law as the state did it, we said, you know what, talking with the sheriff's office and getting their recommendation, they said, we're chasing a ghost all day, every 4th of July and days surrounding it anyways.
Every holiday,
By
Thanksgiving.
adding in this, by opting out, you're not really changing anything. So based on their recommendations, it was opting out didn't change anything because of the way the legislation states. Everybody's pretty
So
much
they-
letting them off as doing it illegally anyways. So you're not going to change anything by opting
have
out.
to change
Yeah.
the states, so
Right.
that means the senators.
And they just went through that years of process of,
Yeah.
and I know that comes from lobbying from.
I know, they could buy them in the state, but you can't set them off. Whoever came up with that was really stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and now you can buy them in the state. That's
and now
where.
you can buy them and they still don't. Nobody obeys the law, but
Right.
I do.
Right.
and I have a
So
problem
that's
with
just it's an issue of again it's a hard thing to nail down because you have to catch that person actually committing that crime,
I
right?
can make that my agenda.
I know you can. So there you go. You got your homework for these holidays
May
coming
I
up.
have my evidence back?
Yes.
Because I'm not done with this.
Okay.
I was told go dump it in his yard, and I didn't want to do that, but I am tempted.
What was your house number again, please?
1264 Stonewood Court.
And the sheriff's office does all they can, but it's just one of those
I
things.
realize that.
It's
They
and
will be hearing from me again, I'm sure.
and I can tell you, we've been here 10 plus years, all of us, and in that 10 plus years before the law went into effect, the amount of calls they got never changed, right? It's never stopped. And like I said, there's very few places in Painesville Township where you can have those because the way our neighborhoods are
They used
set.
to do them at Riverside, and they used to do them at Fairport, and that, people want them, go there.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why seven people have to say so over everybody else.
Especially not when the houses are 40 feet apart. That's breaking the
Yeah.
law. So, and that's the last
thank
thing.
you.
That's the last thing we want.
Okay, thank you for hearing.
Oh, no problem. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
My name's Ken Mills, address 1264 Stonewood. My wife did such a good job with fireworks, and I'm sure you've heard enough about fireworks for now. But I figured as long as I have your attention, I'm sure other people have been asking about it. The railroad crossing on Bohall Road,
Mm-hmm.
when are they gonna do something with it?
Oh, that one's bad. Are you talking about the one closer to
The double
North
track.
Ridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
So I don't know if we've heard anything yet, but I don't know if you've noticed there are parts laying off to the side. So some like rubber gasket type things, which makes me think there's a repair coming, but I have not heard anything.
It's been a couple of years. They used to do it every couple of years.
Yeah, I can tell you, this is one thing that I've learned in my years being a township trustee. The railroad does whatever they want. We have no control, and when we try to talk to them, it's literally couldn't go in one ear and out the other faster than you can blink, right?
If you can get in touch with
If you can get in touch with them. They're federally controlled. There's so little we can do. But by all means, we know that crossing is a problem, and we will at least do what we can to at least drop them a line that says, we'd like you to address this. So that's as much as we can do, unfortunately, you know, but we'll make sure that we do that.
And a lot of times we'll get notification that they're going to repair crossings, and they're going to tell us they're going to close, the Bohol Crossing, Park Road, and they're going to
All at the
close
same
all these at
time.
the same time, and then all the communities get together and say you can't do that. We need to have a couple open.
Right.
Usually they listen to that, but again, as Gabe mentioned, that
I mean, it took
they were
us
here first.
It took us
and
so
they're-
long to get them to address shooting rocks over the Route 20 bridge that goes over there by Casement. Big rocks were falling off. It took us, I can't remember, 2-3 years to get them to put some sort of fencing barrier up to catch some of those rocks, because we kept trying to get them to do something. They just ignored us. Finally, I think after something might even have happened, I forget what happened, or there was damage, but they finally acted after years of us pestering them to. All they needed to do is put that mesh net up to catch them, and they finally did something. So my point is, we get it, and we understand. We'll put a bug in their ear, but we just want to let you know that the railroad is an animal like no other, and they do what they want. So we'll do what we can, but just want to put that caveat along with it. So
Yeah, because you gotta drive 5 miles out of your way because of Madison Avenue to get into
Yeah,
town.
right.
You go the other way, you got railroad ties that bouncing up.
I know, right.
But I just wanted to call it to your attention.
All right,
and,
thank you.
And since you're here, since I live right around the corner from you guys, the wall on Madison Avenue, the county was just awarded $500,000 of funding from the state to go towards that project. It's at least a $2 million project, but that was the piece they were waiting for to receive notification they received it, to then start the project. So while nothing has taken place in the past year plus,
There's been work behind the scenes.
there's been work behind the scenes, plans. Now that they have that funding piece, I've been told it's supposed to go to construction this fall, and it's work they could do through the winter as well.
So hopefully by next spring,
So
we'll see some.
So I'll still have to drive 5 miles out of the way.
yes,
All right.
I send them a bill for gas.
Yeah, right. if it works, let us know. We can. Anybody else? You know the routine now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Judy Mulhauser. I live at 1730 West Jackson Street in Painesville Township. And I would like to know if there's any recourse we can do for our new neighbors at 1714. They have unrunning vehicles that they keep in their yard. The black truck is non-running since March. The white truck has been non-running since April. They keep blowing the engines up. They have 8 lawnmowers. None of them work. She borrows a lawnmower from friends to mow her grass, and they have 2 lawnmowers in their side yard with the hoods up. Now they have a refrigerator that's been in their driveway for 2 to 3 weeks now. They also have rented out the basement to people that come and go and live in the basement, and it's a residential house. I don't know that they can rent out the basement to people.
So we'll address the vehicles first, right?
Okay.
We have no enforcement mechanism for necessarily the operation. It comes into the licensing of the vehicles, right? So correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty much have to have an active license plate. If they're unlicensed, that gives us through our zoning resolution in our zoning code to address that. Trash in the yard, though, if they have refrigerators and other things, that's something that our zoning can. Now that you brought it to our attention.
It's on our, this is already a hotspot for us.
Okay, so
I
it's
mean,
already on their radar.
I
So
mean,
there, we're already in
You
action.
missed the operating a chop shop out of the garage. You
Yes,
might have been
I
getting
didn't
there,
want to
but you were
bring
getting
that
there.
up.
So, you were getting there.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's on our radar and we are working through our processes. The basement's a new option in what we're hearing. That one's gonna be a little bit harder to enforce, to kind of describe whether that's a blood relative, cousin, how would describe it.
Because it's four or more unrelated, right, Matt? Four or more
Right, so
unrelated in
just
the house. So
in that range, that one might be a little bit difficult, but we'll keep an eye on there for like an Airbnb. Like, hey, it's posted online, 1 bedroom over here at this address.
What about if they're living in the garage, behind the chop shop?
So, see,
We've seen people
What was
going
he,
in
17,
there at
40
night
was
and they
the-
have the
She's
fireplace
30.
going in the window.
14.
might be more obtainable because you're on the left there.
17, 14?
Yes,
Yeah, 17.
it's
14.
Tim and Lisa Cannon's.
Old
previous
Old
house.
house. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah. Really miss.
Yeah, I know,
You
right?
miss them?
You had wonderful neighbors.
Yeah,
We
long
did.
time, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
so it is
I'll scold
100%
Tim
on
for
our
you.
radar, by any means. It's
Okay.
not being overlooked. It's there's
It's a very slow process.
it's in the process for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody gets a turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on down.
Yeah.
I'm Kurt Mulhauser. I still live at 1730 with my wife. We've lived there for over 45 years. We've talked to Chuck a couple times. And we're still questioning whether the realignment of Jackson Street is going to take place. We are trying to do some estate planning and things like that with our son and changing title and things like that. And we want to know what kind of bomb we're landing in his lap if this realignment is actually still out there as a viable thing.
We heard
Go ahead.
2028 is the last.
So
That's not too far away.
it's still out there as a option that's being discussed
By the county, just to me.
by the county.
Yes.
So
Right.
there's two pieces to the project. City of Painesville is planning a new interchange
Yes.
to replace the half interchange on Jackson Street. So there'll be a new one slightly to the north. That is the city's project. The county is looking at realigning Jackson and tying in somewhere near your property.
Right through our living room, actually,
So
was the original plan.
and so that is a county project,
Right.
and so the county engineer would have the best answers.
Yeah, they
on-
go, oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the good answer. Okay, on the zoning thing, it comes back to these fine neighbors that we have. They're talking about putting an additional driveway in on their property so that our property has a horseshoe driveway behind our house, comes out both sides of the house. They're talking about doing that to the east of their house, which would put it about 2 seconds from the Big Bend on Jackson. Right now, when you come out of their driveway, traffic at speed will be on you in about 3 to 4 seconds from a blind curve. They're talking about, they want to put another driveway in closer to that curve. It's, I know there was a zoning issue when across the street they wanted to put a multi-family access and they had to get a variance. And so just asking about that because right now these people they never pull out or seldom pull out forward onto Jackson Street so that they can pull out and drive away. Instead, they back out, generally in front of traffic coming from either direction, the blind direction or the direction where you can see half a mile down the road. It doesn't really matter to them, so.
So I think it's a county road. Do they have
Yeah,
to?
the county would dictate where that driveway could and could not go just because it's a county road. If they decide to back out onto West Jackson at willy-nilly, you might get new neighbors sooner than you anticipate.
Well, that's kind of what we're figuring, that the Darwin
It's kinda
effect will
crazy to
take.
think, but I mean, that's,
But
but yeah, so they would need to reach out to the county before doing an accessible curb cut onto the county road and add an intersection. They're pretty stingent on where they would allow that to be.
So that as far as our control mechanisms go, it only would be within the zoning code of where the driveway could be and the surface type. The county is going to authorize where that's going to tie into Jackson Street if they allow them. That's outside of our purview, but the what the driveway is, where it's at on their property, our zoning resolution would dictate that. If they're even allowed to do it once they approach the county to ask for another quote unquote curb cut on, there's no curb I don't think, but it's another cut into the road. So that's the county will authorize that. That'll have to go through the county. As far as what we control will just be the surface, the location of it based on setbacks and those type of things. That's what we can address. Actually, where it comes onto Jackson, the county engineer's office will handle that.
Okay, well, I kind of thought they had to ask somebody.
Yeah.
Put in a petition or whatever. And,
Yeah, they'd have to apply with the county engineer for that because it's a county road.
okay, and so at this point, the question she asked about, well, their chop shop or custom cycle shop, I believe is the sign they have put up on their building. We have never seen a cycle come out of it other than his. And, but they would have to put in for a zoning variance or something because it's a residential zoned area.
Correct. It wouldn't be a permitted use in there. I
Right.
mean, ultimately, if you wanted like Dynaco or Sunoco sign up there just because he was a sign guy and he wanted it on his garage and it was well maintained and made it look like an antique and he had a old fashionable garage in there and he made it look like that as history, right? We've seen people do things like that, but in terms of the belief of
It being an actual shop.
A custom motorcycle shop or car shop would
Correct.
not be a permitted use in a residential area. So that would be a
So he'd have to have permission to do that. And
he
at
wouldn't
that
even.
point, would we be asked to say yay or nay?
If he wanted to get that far along in the process, but ultimately.
yeah. If he had a
wanted
variance,
that
I think the answer to that, if he
business.
went for a variance, there would be a public hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if they had a
And
variance, they would have
these-
a public hearing. We would advertise that on our Facebook page.
And
You'd have a letter sent
And a
to
letter
the
sent to you.
adjacent property.
Yeah, the adjacent property
Okay.
owners would be notified with a letter.
Now, I've got a hunch there'd be a lot of people here at the meeting then.
I have a hunch you get the letter, you're going to bring some people with you. So
We would.
Right.
We would. We would.
The crazy,
Anyhow.
the crazy part is obviously it still shows that vacant parcel of property between you and that property is still owned by the
Cannon.
Cannon.
They do own that.
Tim still owns it, but yet Joe says it's his property.
Right.
He drives
Well.
his four-wheeler
Yeah.
all over it when we're
Maybe
sitting
get
out
Tim to
in the
throw up a split rail fence along that property line, and that would alleviate all questions, right?
We were thinking electric fence, but
Well, yeah.
nonetheless, I know they're limited too. No, we've told the Cannons that I would mow that just to keep it down for bugs and
Yeah.
such. And yeah, like she said, he likes to drive a four-wheeler on there that is probably over the sound limit of if we had a jet airplane over there, but nonetheless. And I did ask him to keep his toys on his property, and he got loud and smart with me and said, I'm gonna own that in 5 days. He's not gonna own that because they're not selling it. So
So I said Tim's a reasonable guy. Ask him to throw a fence up for you. Even a split rail, that would solve all your problems of.
yeah, well, they were there for a month and they put up no trespassing signs on it facing us. And I'm like,
On our tree.
on our tree.
Huh.
Oh, it was a joke. Anyhow, I'm sorry. I digress.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
Anybody else?
Let me just,
Hopefully we'll be only 45 years before I come back again.
Right.
So on your first point you were making, nothing has changed since we spoke last about that road coming across or any interchange. I mean, nothing is different from when we spoke last.
Okay, good.
If the county were to do something, I'll let you know. But nothing has changed. And back when we had, I mean, officially, it could happen at any point, but I mean, I don't see any movement on it. Josh he's a professional engineer and he's more in tune with things coming across, so he might know better, but nothing has happened as far as we know, right?
correct.
But they are exploring it.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
It's
they've
still-
been
yes.
exploring it
Oh,
for
yeah.
But
how
I
long?
think
But
actively.
it's,
Okay,
It's
then.
it's an active exploration.
yeah, I mean, so
so
the city's proposed new interchange is definitely moving forward.
and once that gets in, then I think, based on what we've heard, that they already are actively looking at it. And I think once that comes in, that's going to accelerate the exploring of the options. So, but that's a couple years down the road, right?
Yeah, but just as the county doesn't have money to replace or repair the wall on Madison Avenue, they also don't currently have money to realign their piece of Jackson Street,
Buy houses,
build a railroad overpass,
Yeah.
and all that.
because it's not just a road. It's buying if they go through your living room, it's buying your houses, redoing the railroad bridge, creating a railroad crossing, all these things that would have to go along with it, on top of constructing a new road. So there's a lot of moving parts that they're working on. Nothing is, like Chuck said, nothing's happened, and there's nothing, but they are working towards it at some point. That's their plan if they can get the funding. I think a big thing is securing the funding.
And
Because
when they
it's
went out
not
for-
coming out of their pocket. They can't get their pocket's not deep enough for that. So it's going to be finding alternative funding. So that's something that I think they're currently exploring. So
And when they went out for plans for that interchange, they wanted us to sign off on something supporting to another governmental agency for funding, and because we knew they were gonna have to go through your front door.
take
and
houses.
We didn't sign off on that. I mean, they still got the approval to do that section, but we wouldn't sign off on that because we weren't in support of that. But at some point, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. That's all we can say. We don't know at this point.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Moving on, Lake County Sheriff's Office. Oh,
For the month of June, we had 1,107 calls for service, so it's quite a bit of an increase from the past few months. From that, we had 180 traffic stops, 156 of those were warnings, 24 citations. We increased to 19 arrests and then 16 additional reports for investigations.
I got a question.
Sure.
So, she came with a lot of evidence, and so and she said she filed a report with the sheriff's department. So when the deputy shows up, and she has all this information, even if she didn't have it at that moment, say she has it a day, 2, 3 later, I mean, how do and people say it's them? How do they? I don't
Yeah, I
understand
mean, we would have to
the argument
prove
that you
all
got to
of
see them
that,
doing it.
where all that came from. Whether it's, if there's.
My yard.
But what I'm saying is,
Who
where
put
did
it there?
start?
Yeah,
Did
who put it
start
there?
on Falling Rock? Did it start on what? It's hard for us to say where exactly that started
I know.
before it came to your yard. Obviously, if we are there and we're seeing it and we can put 2 and 2 together of, okay, this was the only person at the time shooting fireworks off, and now here they are. That
James did see it.
Yeah.
James Fogarty was there when it was hitting my house. He says, I hear it hitting your house. If you need me, here's my complaint number, and he said to call him.
James is a deputy.
yeah,
Yes.
yes.
So has any further action proceeded on this? Do you?
No,
Have you talked to him again, or?
no, I didn't talk to him again. I told him, I said, I'm coming to the Tuesday meeting. He says, take everything with you. He says, if you need me, call me. He gave me my complaint number.
We'll talk more after the meeting.
Okay, appreciate that.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's seen these I've never seen nothing like that. That's just mind blowing what you brought.
And that's just Sunday night.
I got them firing them off in my backyard too. I get it. They're all, and I live in a neighborhood similar to yours, so I get it.
And this was picked up piece by piece by the two of us. We're in our 80s. This is not what we planned to do in our 80s, defend our home. But the fact, it's not only just the safety measure, it's also the noise. I mean, these things are like the whole
Shake the house.
development going off. That's how loud they are. My windows rattle and the pictures on my wall I have with tic tac. Because you don't know when they're going off. They go off all the time.
It's like
I
being
would
in a war
worry, it's
zone.
in a war zone, and I can see why the ones with PTSD just go berserk. It's horrible, and it doesn't stop.
I would worry about your roof with those hot.
That's what I'm concerned with.
I would
They
have
land on my
a
roof.
roofer come and inspect your roof just to make
Yes.
sure you haven't damaged.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll
Turn it into my insurance.
converse after with everything. Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Department reports, service department,
Nothing to add, Mr. Chairman.
fire department, zoning,
Nothing to add this time.
law director,
Nothing else.
administrator. Fiscal officer is not present, so, oh,
Would getting a petition together in the development help me in any way, or is that a legal question?
not, he gets, but they're already breaking the law, so a petition to somebody that's already breaking the law, I don't think would, that's really to change something that maybe is legal and you want to try to start an initiative towards, but this is already something that's illegal, so I think it, for your time's sake, I think it would be, not well used to do that because they're already breaking the law, so a petition to somebody that's already breaking the law doesn't really change anything, so it's a matter of just seeing if the sheriffs can do their due diligence and what can come from that.
All right.
Okay. Who's the pro temp? Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, request a resolution, approval of resolution 2026-072 to start up cleanup costs for the following properties and amounts. 940 Midway Boulevard in the amount of $523. 116 Lakeview Boulevard in the amount of $540. 117 Tuckmere Drive in the amount of $540. Madison Avenue parcel number number 11A 022B000180 in the amount of $540. 37 Middleton Drive in the amount of $482. 55 Rainbow Drive in the amount of $540. 24 Park Road in the amount of $540. And 250 Orton Road in the amount of $540.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, trustees, resolution 2026-073 authorizing the township to enter into an intergovernmental agreement to establish a regional council of governments pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 167.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 2026-074 congratulating Allison Urbis on winning the OSHA Division II State Championship in the 100-meter hurdles and becoming the first Riverside Girls Track and Field individual event state champion in school history. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion to approve.
A second discussion.
Well, we should discuss first. Go ahead.
We should.
So in a related note, we never got during our meeting to the discussion of putting that up, and I sent an email. There was a question, were there multiple state winners over the years?
Yeah, I think that would have to warrant, we'll discuss that at the next
Maybe the
meeting
next
because that's the email that include all, that's you need a billboard for all that
I
information.
get it. Yeah,
So
no,
I
I
think-
get it.
So we're almost considering, his idea
made it.
was the signs that were there were up to publicize the state championship. We take those down, print any additionals we need so each girl in the team can have one. Because then it's like, how far back do you go? What do you put on there? Who do you put on there? So do we just give them the signage and then just go back to our standalone signs? Because so we're not identifying and honoring somebody and leaving somebody out and vice versa. So I think we'll discuss that at the next meeting, but we'll at least pass the vote on the resolution to give her resolution, and then we can discuss what we're going to do moving forward.
Are we able to discuss this at one of those nuisance meetings, or is that nuisance only?
Nuisance only.
Okay,
That's a special meeting.
okay.
Unless
We'll just,
unless you want to.
Well, it's just a whole month, because we're not meeting again for another month, so, because
Yeah.
it's summertime, so,
If you would like to do that, you would have to modify the notice of that meeting for that particular meeting, and then you can, and then at that point you can discuss it.
I won't be the next one.
I'm gonna,
anyway, so.
oh shoot, I'm gonna have a hard time making some.
Well, the next one, I'm out of town next week, so is he, I think, so
So then we'll just cancel next week.
Okay.
next week we'll.
yeah, I'm out of town next week.
So am I, so.
All right.
So then we can go from there. So we'll entertain a motion to approve this resolution and then discuss further any
All
recognition.
right,
we make.
motion and second have been made.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2026-075, congratulating Morris Chiropractic on their 25th anniversary. Any discussion?
No.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2026-076, thanking Classic GMC Buick, CSM Kenworth, Crown Rust Proofing, Best Truck Equipment, and M-Tech for their generous donations for the beautification project on Mentor Avenue.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion to approve.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 2026-077 to approve 5-year renewal contract paid annually up to 20 users and licenses for the Time Lock Plus software for the service department in the amount of $2,400 per year. Any discussion?
No.
None.
Hearing none, I entertain a motion for approval.
Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve.
If I hear a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2026-078 to purchase a new cat roller from Ohio Cat in the amount of $52,669.64 for the service department. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2026-079 declaring the 2002 cat roller scrap. Is there more verbiage we need there, or is scrap?
It, unnecessary and no longer needed.
Scrapped, also known as unnecessary and no longer needed in the service department. Any discussion?
Yes. John, when that's scrapped, what happens?
We'll just take it to the scrapyard and get it checked for it. We pulled them up, we had the motor pulled out of it, we'll probably put that on gov deals for some amount of money. We have it sitting on a pallet right now at the shop.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Entertain a motion for approval.
Chairman, make the motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2026-080 that new driveways or replacements will need a driveway permit through the Painesville Township Zoning Department with a fee of $250. Any discussion?
Discussion.
Yes.
So, John, can you explain why this one was being proposed, why this is necessary and what costs are being incurred, because it's an additional fee?
So we've had them in the past, we've never really enforced them with anything. So now we are, and going out and inspecting them, making sure they're done right. We had to make a guy tear one out.
Yeah. Could you elaborate on why we need to?
John,
what's-
can you come here, because anybody watching this isn't gonna hear anything.
start over and the purpose of why we need to
So
inspect
we've
them?
had them in the past and we've never really enforced them. So now we're going out and making sure they're installed properly within the road right of way. And
And in some new developments, I believe you've seen them, that
Yes,
have been
they're
issued, and now it
damaging the
becomes a
curbs.
liability on
Yes.
us.
yeah, so we're making sure they're installed right. When they damage the road, we make sure the contractor fixes the road, repairs it back to the way it was.
Okay, and this has happened, and so it's been a cost to us, and now
Yes.
we're gonna make sure they're done proper. And
Correct.
Gotcha,
And
thank you.
so that they're installed in the proper location according to your site.
Yes.
That's the other problem. They were getting installed
And we're,
outside the site plan. They were putting them in
Right.
other locations.
so we're not allowing them to install 40-foot, 50-foot wide driveways in the road right of way anymore. It's a 24-foot maximum they're allowed to install, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2026-081, changing the right-of-way excavation permit fee to $50 per address. Any discussion? Hearing
No.
none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 2026-082, providing for the declaration of nuisance on the properties listed below and authorizing all necessary steps for the abatement of the nuisance. Any discussion?
None.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we want to do the resolution for bucket truck now so we can move forward, or do we want to wait till next time? Probably wait till next time. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Chairman, I got a question though for John.
Yeah.
John, follow up on that driveway thing. So, so if somebody has an existing driveway, for example, like my yard, I live in a subdivision, and I think we added last year, a couple of years or whatever it was, we added like 18 inches to the side and each side. Does that require a permit?
Yes, it does.
That would require a
Now,
permit
but
change.
back then, it's legal non-conforming now,
Yes.
right? That's legal non-conforming now, but it would now require. permit.
Because somebody, okay, that would, so what we're doing is preventing somebody from going way out there and making their driveway.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Motion to adjourn at 11:55. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Say it's adjourned?
Yep, you're done.
Okay.